You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
All systems check. 3, 2, 1.
Get ready for your DJ.
Hands down the best party mixer.
DJ Damiger. Now with the hottest party mix.
Let's get this party started.
Rock the beat.
Yeah. Turn on my efforts. Let go. Baby. Turn on my efforts. Let go. See. Get away to me, your friend, not your lover. Hey. And I'll be asking all your friends for your number. Hey. Go make your body bang, bang, bang. And you go tell up by your friend. And we can do it all again, then. The way your body bubble. Girl, you know say you are causing trouble. Make your body bang, bang, bang. And you go tell up by your friend. Time me a tight. Hey, bang, bang it. When you down low, hey, baby girl you dribble like my dribble down slow. The way your body wiggle down low. My baby girl I swear you are cause I go slow. To the left, to the right side. Say all my people in the east and the west side. And all my women in the north and the south side. Shake your body right, hope you feel alright. Girl I want to be your friend, not your lover. Hey. And I'll be asking all your friends for your number. Yeah, go make your body bang, bang, bang. And you go tell her for your friends. And we can do it all again. The way your body bubble, you know say you want us in trouble.
Yeah, I got the girl I could die for. I got the girl I could sing for. 50 girls on default, but now you be the one I go kill for. Baby girl, you be jailer. Handcuff me, no go leave me. You be one in a million. Baby, top of my million. See like we baby, I'm my out. Like David, do you get the fire out. See why baby, my love. She said, Ricky, Jaja. Go, shout it. Girl, it's your birthday, yeah, go, shout it. You know it's your birthday, go, shout it. Yeah, it's your birthday, yeah, go, shout it. You know it's your birthday, my lily. Dance to the beat, no, they frustrate me. Like the way you concentrate, the way that you went at your body, yeah. Baby, come on, lily. Dance to the beat, no, they frustrate me. Like the way you concentrate, the way that you went at your body, yeah. See, like we baby, I'm my out. Like David, do you get the fire out. See why baby, my love. She said, Shawty want $1 million. Shawty want $1 million. Say make a wire. Tell me to wanna cover my girl. She say all our friends are leave me la vida loca. For me, my lover, yeah, you for there for me, you for there. When the boy they hunger, I for try for you, But you say if you don't get money, hide your face, hide my face. Make another man picking on my race. I love you, no mean say. If you say make I put one up for fire, burn. I go put one for fire. I put one like for fire, burn them. I go do like for fire. Make a love. There's no other one above. Hey, you know what he made. Okay, bring out the way. Down, girl. Go down, down. Yeah, the sound, girl. Down. Yeah, I'm in love, oh. I said I'm in love, oh. Baby, let me cover you. When you stand, I'm under you. Oh, na 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 na.
Yeah. Sorry guys in the building. Sorry madam, sorry. I told you I'm the life for the party. Why your guys want to try to lead that beat? BTN don't go, make me want to hack. So give me them side, Sholo Maggie. Mommy see I know be the cool spender. I got a shitload of that legal tender. I'm thinking how we met is not coincidental. I can make a life just a little better. Have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with a guy from my city? Hakuna Matata. I like your matako, ma titi. Le tout est magique. Et fille, les chevaux danser. Tu es magnifique, mais la qui style élégant, enchanté. Mademoiselle, c'est le moment de faire la fête. C'est le moment de faire la fête. Oh yeah, oh dear neighbor, besuma koma neighbor, besuma koma neighbor, besuma koma neighbor, besuma koma neighbor, besuma koma
nouvelle new dance, hey. C'est la nouvelle new dance, hey. Let me bend, show me we so we mais toi qu'il faut bend, sexy bien, on va bend, hey. Lady bouger comme c'est là, on va bend, come on baby, c'est moi daddy sugar, lovely baby. C'est pour eux là. Mano, we get it. Mano, we get it. It's the remix, what the ranking with the signal, the real fix. Me tell them this is the remix, what the ranking with the girls and Marshall man dance. She and the queen, me and the king, baby. Enjoy yourself, do your thing, baby. Excess amount of loving, baby. No ifs, no buts, no maybe. There's no limit for me, you are my lady. Just like a star, she a glow. The way she whine it and put on a show. You're my priority, say this with clarity, girl. You're my woman and everybody have to know. My woman.
Through the stars,
wine. All let's turn when your waistline bump look over, you know. Cause you look so good. The dance turn over, you know. I don't mind you whining for yourself. Bring it over, you know. Cause you whine so rude. And I say no long talking. When we whine, when we whine, when we whine. Only slow dancing. Bring it back one time. Baby say no long talking. When we whine, when we whine, when we whine. Don't stop, girl, it's just right time. Like how you roll double time. Sing, girl, you got the wine. Don't waste the time. Hey, girl, I'm tired of the lip service. You got the wine. Don't waste the time.
Girl, follow me. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your head, yo. For your head, yo. Oh, mama, mo. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your waist, yo. For your waist, yo. Why? I went calling you. All I'm in is this, yeah. Baby girl, follow me, my you. Baby girl, follow me, my. Calling you. All I'm calling this, yeah. Baby girl, follow me, my you. Baby girl, follow me, my.
Star boy, oh, good old it. I swear, oh my God.
Yeah. Baby, can we do this tonight, yo? Yeah. Baby, can we do this for life, yo? Like I hold you tight and honest, yo. Yeah. Hold you tight and no good lie to you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your head, yo. For your head, yo. Oh, mama, mo. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your waist, yo. For your waist, yo. Why? I went calling you. All I'm in is this, yeah. Baby girl, follow me, my name. Baby girl, follow me, my calling you. All I'm in is this, yeah. Baby girl, follow me, my name. Baby girl, follow me, my
somebody know, them addicted and them can't be know. Girl, you whining is number one, you know. Make a pose, big six, domino. Back up, don't touch up. Take your rolls up, wind that up. You select up, tie that up. I make you feel it like a cut. Every girl I wind down low when them broke out, so I don't know. When foot start cock up and bumper a back up, your mind till sound man pack up. Every girl, every girl, I wanna see my babies in love. Every girl, Cranberry, Bacardi, mix with soda. Make y'all bend over the whole thing. think you could come and spoil we jamming. Boy, fetting refugees from the Caribbean seas. Hurricane could come down and we still pumping. You can't tell my colors, scandalous people. When we coming down, 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 drinking over the maximum. You can't tell my kind of infamous people. When we having fun.
I'll bring the beat to you, baby.
More than who te da. Nya 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 nya. Wa ba jo ike nya nya. Nkaego, nkaego, nkaego. Wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣí wọ́n gbàjàlá bẹ̀kún, bẹ̀kpá, bẹ̀kún kúkú bẹ̀kpá, bẹ̀kún, bẹ̀kpá, bẹ̀kún kúkú bẹ̀kpá. Nkaego, nkaego, bẹ̀kún, bẹ̀kún. I mean, we were here, I mean, we can hold them fight, Wabana Mebo. How are you, Dr. Nafufu? When more than me and get the April Fool. Walk on me, Basha, na me bache shata. Nkaego, nkaego, nkaego. Don't show face, you won't catch a la beckun, beckman, beckun, beckman, beckun, beckman, beckun, beckman. Wherever you see, don't say babo. Ọláwà gbé báàgì bí alájọ Ṣómólú. Tí bá gbowó nísìn wọ́n ní mo ṣe yahoo. Tí bá wọ private jet wọ́n tún ní mo ga wúwú. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment. Ó ń wọ kí nìyẹn assignment. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment. Slay queen má pa mí náà. Baby, take Pamina. Or you like Ribena. Oh, now you Sabina. Fitted Dogo Logo. Fitted Borogodo. Yaro Dogo Dogo. Na Pesifa Moko Logo. Na Koku Foundation. Fowo She Charity. Talo Je Charity. Ejoba Wawa Charity. Snake Queen iti para. Na money be mora. Jessica and Laura. Ibadini Joa. She Shomoluwa. Ọláwà gbé báàgì bí alájọ Ṣómólú. Tí bá gbowó nísìn wọ́n ní mo ṣe yahoo. Tí bá wọ private jet wọ́n tún ní mo ga wúwú. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment. Ó ń wọ kí nìyẹn assignment. Wọ́n wá díẹ̀ assignment.
Oh my darling, oh my darling. Baby Jofa, you know I be loving. You walk out on it, you know you need this love. Indeed, babu, boo, 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 ba, 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 ba. Oh no, girl you make me colo. Oh no, girl you make me colo. Shaking the ass like colo, spreading money like colo. Even the beat they colo, things I want they colo. Show you Iskaba, Iskelebete, Iskoloboto, Iskaba, Iskelebete, Iskoloboto, Iskaba, Iskelebete, Iskoloboto,
Highly spirited.
Mansa mina si kwa suwa mi ba Zakrone duzu akosha unika
I go pay with pussy and funny number. And you'll be a check on every year. Some women love me, I'm out here for me. We'll be a baby, so I dream me, and mommy want me. I'm proud of Johnny DJ. If you know Mumba Munsa Mami Mumbru Chini and Namintia
If you don't get money, hide your face. You can call me small doctor. I'm your teacher. What's it got penalty, don't throw you. Ye masun, da oje, ay ye masun, berejo, oya, bang beri beri be, beri beri be, bang beri beri be, beri beri be. Ijo ti mo do lana tan pariwo, eni nko, ọ̀la nko, ọ̀túnla ẹ̀wẹ̀, àwa la nílùú àtòrí ẹ máa jó lọ, ọmọ ya tíjà. Àwọn jẹ́ òsì wọlé, wọ́n tún gbé wọ́ta bọ́ọ̀tù wọ́n dá. Bóyá yé máa sùn, gbà ó jẹ́ àìn, yé máa sùn, bẹ̀rẹ̀ jó. Bóyá gbẹ́ngbẹ́rìgbẹ́rìgbẹ́, gbẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀gbẹ́, 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 gbẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀gbẹ́.
Take a chip, take a chip, take a chip, take a chip now. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, wow. We are the sound of 100,000 coming off the road. We are the vibration that you feel when the music loads. We are the mud and the oil and we come the dirty of the clothes. I made the girl them wine and strike the electric pose. Hey. Take a chip, take a chip, take a chip, take a chip now. Hey. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it now. Hey. Take a sip, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip now. Wine and go dip, and go dip, and go dip, and go dip now. Them selectors play every day, making you sweat. Yeah. And when the girl them tell it and shadow dingole, I hear the soul God say, hey, we are the sound of soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca.
Closer to me. Now give me when you push back that thing hard and answer my fantasy. Girl, your body looking good and you put me in a mood. When you whine so good, yeah. Then she ball out, oh lad. She grab on me thing like, oh lad. And then I give she the thing like, oh lad. I mash up the place and you know you're whining good. She ball out, oh lad. Just give me some time now, oh lad. She want me stop down the wine now, oh lad. But you're something feeling good, I know. And she ball, hola, 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 hola.
Challenge for you, bend over, let me see you touch your toe. Dance out to stretch, I'm not ready for you. Girls that flex and work that, sing for me. Wine and work that, sing for me. Sweat like if you trade for this. Specialist, I will it, take no risk. Taking you down at the top of my list. So girls that bounce and work that, sing for me. Wine and work that, sing for me. The stage is yours, so girl put on a show. Every man here watching you, every target done lock on you. I don't need to pressure, but girl is how I feel. Look at what you're doing to me. I know you run the tongue, but girl, I come to challenge you, sing girl. Turn on and drop on the sing girl. Come back and walk on the sing girl. Use the best proof
shake up your bum bum. Shake up your bum bum. Girl, shake up your bum bum, walk up your bumper. You got to wind up stop. Yeah, shake up your bum bum, walk up your bumper. Let me see you make it drop. You got to move, girl. You got to move that thing around. You got to move, girl. You got to wind that thing go down to the beat. Yeah, everything turn up, we can't turn down. Party hard from sun up to sundown. Shake that thing, you're my number one. You might sleep in Nigeria, wake up in London. Yeah, now if you think it's fun done, no, we don't stop where I come from. Trinidad where the girls are the bum. Shake up that thing like bum 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 bum. Say shake it up, shake it up. Wind up your body, girl, down to the ground. Say shake it up, shake it up. Shake up that thing like you want the crown. See where you whine, whine, and make me go down low.
How you move your body, come shawty, walk it for me. I'm standing nothing to say cause your lips them look so good like plenty cherry. You lift and you drop it for me, oh la la mama fait to pete. So you on the road yesterday, the rhythm your waist up like two lele. Cause I must get at this other waist mama before I die. Just give me where you never give nobody, don't be shy. I know all of them who watching they go talk, but when they talk we go tell them I don't know about you. But when I don't in the band, me and a woman and me chanting, no nana. She dancing to Afro soca. I don't know about you, but when I'm on the road and I'm in the boat, you know I'm not so. She grip me like a man over, got me chanting.
Girl, I have a question to ask you today. Will you marry me even though I met you today? And she said, you don't even know my father. Oh, the mommy rara. You don't know my mother. Baby, Messiah. Can you pay my rent price? It's just $1 million. Yeah, easy, jaja, take it slow. Collect on your my darling, jaja. Easy, jaja, take it slow. I'm a la pepe, I'm a to easy, jaja, take it slow. So you take it easy and
Mon ami, je dis, tu ne danses pas.
Comment je devrais danser? Chacun un appel de ma mère.
Ah, laisse tout ça. Mon ami, je dis, tu ne vois pas les filles. On t'invite à un joker et toi, tu viens pour taper les styles. Je wonder si toi, mon ami, il y a quoi? Si tu n'avais pas envie d'un joker, Mola, il fallait rester chez toi. Faut pas nous gâcher la fête, hein. Et faut pas nous prendre la tête, hein. Depuis je te vois, on dirait que tu n'as pas l'air dans ton assiette, hein. Papa, si ça ne va pas, tu peux toujours aller te coucher. Parce que ici c'est la fête et tout le monde a l'obligation de bouger. On est là pour s'amuser, on est là pour s'enjailler. Même la police ne va pas nous arrêter. C'est jusqu'au matin qu'on va travailler. Il y a beaucoup de petites, fais ton choix. Si tu ne sais pas comment faire, un mot là, fais comme moi. Récupère la petite, angoisser la petite, embrouiller la petite, et maintenant coller la petite. Coller, 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 coller la petite. Coller, 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 coller la petite. Sanga, 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 sanga la petite. Sanga, 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 sanga.
This party mix is brought to you by DJ Damiger.
Edutainment. Catch ya.
We are the good to queen. Madasi. We are the good to queen. Hey, oh who gave you no pose? Nice shoe looking. Oh who this guy not like him? They be like him, oh not say. Sa. We are the good to queen. We are the good to queen. Oh who fresh brand one pity. Oh do club once ya started. This boy they fresh show. If I catch a man, oh not say. Sa. We are the good to queen. Medasi. I look good to be. Hey, girl, we pose say yo. Why don't stop away? Where the Asa Kumasi Coco, Miana, Mihan, and Punina Satoko. On the one of my time you could, Medium Targets here, Nadia Warrior, Nuntima Toffer, Gamos about Tory, Opiton Car, Oton Mango, don't compare Trasako to Zongo. You rent a Casibia, you call Empire for Ethiopia. Near Chi Girls, Libya, Yasia, there's all going to green. Oshamanasa Jane, Rap close, Matari crazy. Look at the comedy and maybe, well, Miss Cop and Marseille Bright. Where the all going to be green. Where the all going to be.
She always full blow, not that thing exposed. When she leave the house, everything come out and gone on display. Now she coming out in short thing, cleavage bam bam showing, tongue ring she exposing. Nothing she concealing, everything revealing. Glad to see that she's out there.
Like
We came back, never harder. Stronger, same at your body, the proper. Conquer, very soon we go take over. When we come through, you know what we do. When we enter, you know what we do. We be coasting, yeah, we be toasting. All the blessings, up on the blessings. Very soon we go take over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Sueme. Everybody, Guanta! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Mama!
Aloledi, 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 alole gueta, gueta, gueta.
Freestyle.
Yeah. 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 Mama, mama, mama.
Sueme. Everybody, Guanta!
Guanta!
Mama!
Guanta!
Mama!
Guanta!
Mama!
Mama! Aloledi, 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 aloledi.
When you're back on me, give me a little pressure. So long I did want ya. If I can start already, girl whining and rolling back there. No time to ask no shampoo. Watch out and down. Who feel like jamming? Who feel like whining? That is not my business. Pick back when you're pushing back. Face down, push the bam bam back. Attacking it from the back. Back when I'm working that. Pick back when you're pushing back. Face down, push the bam bam back. Attacking it from the back. Back when I'm working that. Sit me in a chair, hands on my neck. I never get this treatment yet. Hands on the most secret, well kept. Deep down inside, party so nice. Driving me wild. If you smoke, you're looking, then you will get it. Pick back when you're pushing back. Face down, push the bam bam back. Attacking it from the back. Back when I'm working that. Pick back when you're pushing back. Face down, push the bam bam back. Attacking it from the back.
Story of the life now.
Yo, static, story time now. Leave the house and meet me partner. We on the guest list for later. He tell me he sure we getting through. Reach the fet and meet the bouncer. Boss man, my name on that paper. He say partner, I don't remember you, but he must not understand. Hey, how inside I hear just saying, woman, I don't formulate the plan. Oh, I getting inside. So when the levels start to rise, I getting in on the action, the action, the action. I getting in on the action. Don't know how I get in the session. The action, the action. I getting in on the action. Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 boy. Look how I lost myself deep inside this jam. Feel like I'm watching myself tipping wine on somebody, yeah. Some origin, but that's the general section. If you see me,
Take off the phone to spotlight. I don't want nobody calling me. I don't want no distraction at all. It's not getting all the attention. Focus on the continuously purpose. This is what we come here for. Fill up the bacchanal. Tell them to give we more. Continuously purpose. This is what we come here for. Fill up the bacchanal. Tell them to give we more. Yeah. There's no limit for all my friends and I. Well, they're more than friends, we like family.
hands in the air. Then move to the right like this. Hey, let's go. Left, right, then left, then right. Hey, then left, then right. Hey, then left, then right. Let's go. Hey, yeah. Hey, he's always. Hey, Vega, links. Hey, he's always. Hey, he's always. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, all the girls now drop to the floor. Hey, and touch your toes like this. Hey, all the guys put your hands on the waist. Hey, and move your body like this. Hey, let's go. Left, right. Hey, then left, then 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 right. Hey, then left,
Il faut consommer. Voilà musique qui consomme.
Papa Samuel a débat.
Gweta batiye.
DJ Eric.
Allez, mama to digi digi to tengenangeto. Etemetengenangeto. Mama de bise de tengenangeto. Tengenangeto. Mama de bise tengenangeto. Yeteme tengenangeto. Yeteme tengenangeto.
Chérie Coco, baby I see something beautiful for your back, oh. You're my sexy rosé, my chérie Coco. Baby I see something meaningful for your back, oh. You're my sexy rosé, my chérie Coco. Baby I see something beautiful for your back, oh. You're my sexy rosé, my chérie Coco. Baby I see something beautiful for your back. Charlie, you too fine, oh. Your waist is 34, your hips 44, and you are 24. I love my baby. Jealousy. I don't see jealousy.
You're live in the mix with DJ Damiger.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your #1 source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Hey, this is D Black. Join me every Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. U.S. time, 8 p.m. GMT for the Sound City Radio program, our free-flowing Friday where we do the best in independent R&B, neo-soul, and jazz on the planet. Only here on iLiveRadio.com. Make sure you click the iLive Canada link. See you there.
Every Friday, take a trip around the world with music from around the globe. Colors of Rhythm with your host DJ Ron John. Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on iLive Radio, iLiveRadio.com.
Join me, Uncle Funky, at noon Eastern Standard Time every Saturday for our music show, Give Me the Night, here on iLive Radio, and enjoy a nooner like no.
Hello and welcome to the promo for Always Digging. My name is Jeff Skull, aka DJ Scully Funk. Every Sunday afternoon, my partner Gary, aka DJ Gaza Taylor, and I choose a theme and play our favorite songs that fit that theme. Tune in right here every Sunday from noon to 2 on iLive Radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
So right about now, we're very, very pleased and honored to have Mr. Lukman Akambi in the building. He is what I consider a serial entrepreneur, and a very successful one at that. He owns businesses spanning several industries, from the aviation to IT to food and hospitality, and now to entertainment. And we are pleased at Flight 654. We are pleased to have you here to pick your brain about a lot of things. I know you have a lot of things to talk about. You're not a really outspoken person like that. So it's really nice to have you on this medium to air things out, basically, to talk about many things, really. Mostly about your life.
So, so tell me what you want to know. Tell me I'm here.
Okay. I will try as much as possible to guide you. I'll try as much as possible to guide you.
It's a very, very broad. That's a very, very broad. Trying to get some more volume in here. Yeah. Tell me what you want to know, buddy.
Absolutely.
Battery 100%.
All right. So I've done like an introduction. I've done like a brief introduction. Maybe you want to tell people more about who you are and what you do, basically.
Okay. My name is Lukman Akambi. I'm a Nigerian Canadian living in diaspora in Canada. I've been into business for the last 30 years, spanning from IT sector to the aviation sector, and to the entertainment and hospitality sector. Most recently, more active in the entertainment space. I've done restaurants. I mean, my career has been a very broad one. I give thanks to God. It's been partly successful, but it's been a very eventful, definitely a very eventful one. So I'm kind of ready to share as much as I can in different parts as we go along today.
Absolutely. That's what we want to hear. That's what we're here for. Knowledge and the nugget and the gist. So just about that, like how did things start off? I know. For what I know, you started in current. Most of your schooling was done in Nigeria. What was this transition like for you to other things? Basically, did you have a job first before becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I actually worked on the family business when I finished school. I did a bit of family business for a minute. but I've always been entrepreneurial since when I was like age of 7 years old. I could remember going way back in my like primary 1 or primary 2. I was selling whistling pops because my mom is she's a big distributor for Cadbury. And I know whistling pops was popular at that time, and I know how much you're selling it wholesale and how much you're buying it in school. So you know what? I'm taking some. I was making money as early as 7. So I've always had that entrepreneurial thing going all my life. So even when I did finish and I started working in the family business, was in the IT business, I was never really satisfied. I just wanted to be on my own. I drove the bit into video club, one of the first computerized video clubs then in the solo axis of Lagos, was operated by me. And before I left the country, when things were just not going right, you trying and trying and trying, things are not just going right, and I saw an opportunity to leave Nigeria, 1993, for Hong Kong, and I left.
So what was the journey like in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong has actually been the best part of my life, I would be very honest. I'm living in Nigeria. I've always wanted to play music as an infant. I was born into a Muslim home. Music brought me into church. I pretty much converted all my family from Islam to. My mom is Christian, but she couldn't practice. But because of my persistence and my love for music, so I went into church, and my brother joined me, my sister joined me, and and that was it. My mom started going to church. So music, I always wanted to do music, but my dad didn't hear it. So when I got to Hong Kong, I went into Hong Kong as a currency trader. And my whole goal was to be bringing African investment into the company I used to work with then called ICG. And so I was good as a salesperson. And when I went through the trading course, they realized I was a very good trader. So from sales, I was moved to the trading desk. Then I met the band. I met the band in Hong Kong, and that really changed my life. And from the band, I met my wife, my ex-wife, at the same time. And everything changed for me. And I did professional music for 2 years. That was something that nobody would want to hear about while I was in Nigeria. So I was able to fill that void in my life. So, and I kind of did it well at a very high level. And then 94, actually the end of 94, early 95, relocated to Canada to start a family.
To start a farm?
To start a family.
Oh, the family.
No, to start a family. Yeah.
All right.
Because I couldn't start a family as a musician. That was the life I was living out in Hong Kong at that time. So I had to make decisions, right? So that's what brought me to Canada.
So you leave as a musician. You were on the live band.
Yes.
For what I know, you're a very good drummer. So I'm guessing you were a drummer.
Yes, I was.
Okay. All right. That's amazing. So tell us about your journey in Canada.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Oof. Canada has been blessed. I've been blessed with a good family here, blessed with kids. Blessed. I've done good business out here. I came into Canada at the same time the telecom sector was being deregulated. So I played a very, very, very active role in the telecom sector way back in the mid 90s and the early 2000s. So Canada has been very good. I've had a very, very good career in Canada, actually. Then I left in the early 2003. I left to set up when they deregulated everything in Africa. I felt I could serve more purpose supporting the telecom sector in Africa. So I left to do that in Africa. And I think that took me to about 40 different countries in Africa supporting the telecom sector. So that was also a very fulfilling one. Like I said, I've had a very eventful life.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here. I want to hear all the information about everything. So you moved to about 40 different countries on your own. Was this as an entrepreneur, or you were working at this point?
No. From the moment I left Nigeria, I've always been an entrepreneur, because even when I was in Hong Kong as a trader, I was an entrepreneur because I was running my own business within the organization, right? So I was running, I had flexible time. And when I came to Canada, I did a bit of here and there, worked here and there, but always in an entrepreneurial capacity. I worked for Electrolux before, just out of, so I did Electrolux sales, but then you still run your own business. I was a partner in a courier service in Montreal.
Okay.
I was still run. I've always actually how do I call it? I've operated on the point and kill mode. You understand? So I've always been an entrepreneur. When I went into telecoms, I started my telecoms career as a ClearNet. I don't know who knows ClearNet. ClearNet is now what is called Telus. So they started as ClearNet. So I started as a ClearNet dealer in Montreal. That's how I got into telecoms. Then when I moved to Toronto, I went more into the wholesale side of things because I had a lot of connection in Asia, right? So it was easier for me to. I have access to the supply, and at that time, mobile phone accessories, batteries, and all these things was big business. So anyway, that's how I pretty much went into the mobile phone business.
Absolutely. And how was like transitioning from Hong Kong, Nigeria, as a image?
What do you mean transitioning? What do you mean?
Transitioning like the content here from outside. How was it like starting the family?
Oh, well, it's I don't know. I started my family. I don't know. I never experienced a family life in Nigeria, so I really wouldn't know. I started my family life in Canada, and when I came to Canada to start a family. So the first year I was in Canada, I was just focused on my family. It was just me, my wife, and my daughter, which is Eniola. There was nothing. I was not going to look for work. I was just waking up, just happy to be a new daddy. Happy to be in a new country, I was learning French too, so I went back to school then. So I was taking classes. That was pretty much trying to, settle into the Canadian environment, and enjoying the birth of my new baby. That's it. At least for the first year. So that's what I did. So I don't know how to answer that question.
No problem. Now, maybe I should ask you questions here. So let's just straight into because you're very well known for the brand.
Yes.
How did you get into that?
Pizza as a brand, how do I start? When we were in Hong Kong, when we moved to Dubai in 2007.
Okay.
2007 from Nigeria. I moved to Dubai in 2007, 2008. And because I was operating in many countries in Africa at that time, and one of the main reasons why I moved was because from Dubai, it was easier for me to catch a flight to most of my clients' location than from Nigeria. For me to go to Senegal, for instance, from Nigeria, would take me 2 or 3 flights. And I can't go to Senegal and come back. I have maybe 2 flights. I have to spend a week or like 3. It was just ridiculous. And but from Dubai, there were direct flights to most African countries, and also for tax benefits at that time because it was a tax-free zone. So it was easier for me then. Better life. Living was a bit better there too. So it was easier for me to move there and set up shop there. So I set up the business out there, to operate in Africa. And so that was pretty much how Dubai came into the picture. Now, because I was in Dubai, I was constantly entertaining when people were coming from all over the world. I was the guy on ground. I was the plug, right? But then that means the plug is always out. This one will come this weekend, the other one is coming. So the plug was always out. And from my kitchen to out, and that was going on for a minute. At some point, I actually even had to have 2 chefs. Had 2 chefs working at home. Because we're constantly hosting, you know. I'm like, I should start making money out of this. So in 2011, I bought into a brand called Amica. I don't know anybody that lived in the UK, they will know Amica brand. So Amica was coming to Dubai to set up shop. So I bought into it with the intention that I would be able to do Afro-beat.
Okay.
That was the intention, but it didn't really go down like that. Anyways, after a couple of months, we went back into the boardroom, dining. Went back to the drawing board. Yeah, exactly, to the drawing board, with my partners, and then we decided, a bit of fiction was going on, and we now eventually agreed to dedicate Sundays to Afrobeat music, not food, just music. So that was what gave birth to what we call Swagger Sunday. Swagger Sunday was the first African night in the UAE. So started doing Swagger Sunday, and this was going on in at Amica. That went on for about 7 months. We built it up, and I had enough fan base. I was able to build up enough fan base to realize that, okay, this is a sustainable business. And then we now went to look for a space, and then we got a space, and then we now came about and started Kiza in May 2012.
Okay. And where did the name Kiza come from?
Google.
Does it mean something?
Well, we're just looking for what we're trying to create then was more like a Black community center. So we were just looking for things that were synonymous to that. And we found Kiza means black in Swahili. And then in Rwandan language, it means community. And then for us, for branding, it was a four-letter syllable. So it was very good for branding. And then that's how we went for it. And it won amongst all the other names that we had forward at that time,
Okay. I'm getting many comments that I'm echoing. I'm really trying to troubleshoot the issue. But if you can just continue the interview, just bear with me for now.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess now we're at the point of having your.
So we opened the restaurant in 2012, and actually, I always have to say this. Our very, 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 very first pizza client, very, very, very first pizza client is a Nigerian footballer called Obafemi Martins.
Oh.
He was actually waiting at the door. We opened the door at 6 p.m. He got there at 5 p.m. and he waited at the door until we opened the door. So that was very, very memorable. And our first celebrating in Kiza was One Day Cool. All in the same night.
Wonderful. That would have been such a wonderful opening.
It wasn't an opening. Actually, it wasn't just. It was actually a soft opening. We're just trying to test. We're trying to test the system, and he knew of a friend of mine, John Shitu, who is the manager for Mikel Obi. Told him about what I was trying to do, and he was visiting Dubai, so he came to surprise me.
Yeah.
So it was actually a soft opening. It wasn't the official opening. It was a soft opening. The official opening was a different ballgame entirely.
Wonderful.
And so 2012 until date is still running. 2015 we opened Nairobi. 2016 we opened. Was it 2016? 2017 we opened Toronto. Kiza Music has always been there from 2013, and it's still strong till now. We used to own a label before, so a few artists has been under our label. 2016, I closed the label because I was moving to Toronto, and I was into different things, and so I closed the label in 2016, and we just reopened the label in 2019.
Wonderful. And for those who don't know, Bafemi Martins at the point was probably one of the biggest Nigerian footballers at the point. I think he was playing in Europe, in Italy, or in England at the point.
I think that time he was playing in Ukraine or somewhere at that time.
Oh, okay.
He was playing in Ukraine. Yeah.
Probably at the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges you face in running a food business? I know that the food business is quite unique. In comparison to other businesses, for instance. So what are some of the challenges that you face, and bearing in mind that this is now an international business, spanning different countries?
Right. I first want to get the notion clear. All businesses have their challenge. I've run all kinds of business in different sectors, and all challenges are the same. When you wear the cap, all the problems are the same. It's the methods of how you deal with them that are different, or probably the demand on you also are different, but the challenges are the same. You have to run riots to pay your bills, you pay your salaries, you pay your expenses, you have to keep your doors open. It's all the same. So the restaurant is not different. Don't let anybody fool you that the restaurant business is more cumbersome than running an entertainment business. No, it's the same. It's just different stress of how to manage the stress. But bottom line is the same. It's not different from a real estate guy or from a banker or from a lawyer, or it's all the same. They're all the same basic principles, of business. Yeah. I use the same approach. The same approach I'm using to run the restaurant business, the same approach I used to run my telecoms business, the same I used to run my logistics business, same I used to, everything, the same approach. Once the business has the right ethics, it's going to survive. Once you have the wrong ethics, it's not going to survive. I don't care how you think it's simple as it is. Still in as simple as it is. If you don't have the right ethics, it's not going to survive,
What are some of these principles that you operate on, that in general for most of your businesses, for all your businesses, that keep them running today?
Well, I always try to build a career. That's one thing that I always do. Never in a hurry. I always start with my exit plan, because that's always my guide. So whenever I'm going into a business, I always have my exit plan. I start straight off from my exit plan. I'm very patient. And the key to business is persistency and no procrastination. You understand? If you start to doubt yourself, then you can't survive. And you have to be consistent. That is very, very important. The challenge might be because you're not getting the results you want. You might want to start cutting corners, but you cannot. You cannot, because those mistakes made are going to hurt your business. They're more detrimental to your business than anything. And that's why most businesses fail, because of those mistakes, those corners that they cut. You understand?
Yeah.
For me, that's always been one of the critical things. Rather than cut corners, I try to evolve. I try to try to create. Look at my condition and try to create. It's like this COVID period and what I'm doing right now. It's supposed to be quiet in the entertainment space, but it's not quiet in kids and music. You understand? So we have to create. Business, no matter what it is, you have to realize is going with the society.
Absolutely.
And society of today is very dynamic and is very fluid. From 2012. Is it 2012? Is it too far? From 2014 till now, we moved from 3G to 5G.
Yeah.
You understand? So the rate of progression is going very, very fluid. So no business can be the same. No business processes are not the same way anymore. So a businessman or an entrepreneur has to be dynamic in his thought process right now. And you can't just be serving food and not be aware of what else is happening around you. Mode of delivery is changing all the time. You understand? So you have to move with the time. When everybody's already joining DoorDash and joining Uber, you are still using your cousin delivering. You can't get the same results. You understand? So, those are the things that we tend to do. We're constantly thinking, we're constantly reviewing, I'm constantly taking survey, and I've called you many times to take advice. And yes, I believe we're constantly, learning, and that's the only way we can create. So that's the advice I'll give any entrepreneur. Whatever you're doing, once you have the passion, don't let the passion is not good enough. It's not good enough. Talent is not good enough also. You understand? You have to be consistent. It's very, very important. You understand? You have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. You understand? And your biggest enemy for any entrepreneur is time. The moment you realize that your biggest enemy is time, then you start respecting your priorities.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. This is Flight 654. We have Mr. Lukman Akambi, and we are basically diving into, I guess, his life and his business and basically his principles. The other thing I would like to ask, and someone pointed out to the audience, is what are your strategies to building a good team? I know you've had to build teams on so many of these platforms that you're on, and businesses that you have. So what are the strategies to building the right people around you, basically?
Well, the first, as a leader, the first laws of a leader is understanding your weaknesses and understanding that you have to hire the best people to cover your weaknesses. And that's one of the first guiding rules for me. Second is, I believe my business approach is based on humility, because when you're humble, people are easy. They want to show you stuff. You understand? I may know it all. I may not even know anything, but I'm always ready to listen. As a businessman, as an entrepreneur, you have to be a very good listener. If you can't listen, you can't teach. If you can't teach, you can't expect loyalty. I tend to try to build a family. And one of the principles I think most of the people that have worked with me will know I live by is, I want you to achieve your goals by coming to us. You understand? The profitability, of your success is how we measure our own success. So if you cannot grow with us, you can't grow us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're going to come in, I have drivers that are now PROs. PROs are like immigration liaisons. I have someone that started as a receptionist today in Dubai that is now my HR director. So there has to be a growth pattern, and we always want that. And we've always I've always believed in the business of, it's never business, it's personal. So everybody's input is very critical, because any single idea can change the whole game.
Absolutely.
You understand? So that's one of the things as a leader, that I think has helped. Whatever industry I have been part of, or I have been part of building, has been built with people. It's not just my whole idea. I may have the zeal, I may have the vision to put it together, but I've had people, good people, to help me set it up. Wireless Trade, Airstream, Kiza, iCanB. I've had very, very good people, part of all that, to bring to where it is today. And some are still doing a very good job at it still, to keep it going.
And I think you hit the nail right on the head. Understanding where your weaknesses lie as a leader, understanding where people can come in to fill those weaknesses, and also being able to progress people, understanding there's a career progression with other people, right, on your team, keeping them also as a family. So I think those are the really good ingredients that you pointed out, and I think that's actually vital. The one other thing I wanted to ask about you being a business owner in the diaspora is basically being an African man in the diaspora, owning businesses like this. What are the challenges that you faced? And then bearing in mind, obviously, our present landscape of the racism in North America and the Black Lives Matter movement and all that. What are the challenges that you faced as an African man owning a business in the diaspora?
I mean, like I said, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So it's been, I can actually write volumes of books on racism in the workspace, but it's all in the mind. I always live with the fact that this is all a mental thing. If you let your life be ruled by race, then you will not move past racism. A lot of my friends disagree, but everybody's, is good with their opinion. In Hong Kong, it was worse. When I moved in the 90s, when I was performing in some places in China, the first time I was in Osaka, people were coming to touch my skin to see if it will peel. And I will peel. Yeah, it happened in Osaka, it happened in Nancha. When I first got to Hong Kong, people will not want to go into the elevator with you. So these are all the things that you will experience. So coming back to your question about how have we been able to handle this, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to live above it. One good thing about diaspora, which I think is still better than Africa, is at least you are able to still express yourself. In as much as there are challenges, you can still beat the challenges compared to some of the challenges in Africa that, I will not even say Nigeria, in Africa generally, that can be very daunting, even for you as an African. So it's a catch-22. I still find a lot of people that are in diaspora and to be very fortunate based on the current situation we have in Africa today. They need to realize that. Once they realize that they are fortunate and embrace why they are fortunate, I think they can start building a bigger and a stronger community in the diaspora. Because the experiences we as a race, a minority race, are having in the diaspora is not the same as other minority races are having in the diaspora. And we need to start asking ourselves the right questions. Why? So that we can start fixing the right things. Even my last business at the restaurant in downtown Toronto, is filled with all kinds of challenges, some race related, some caused by my people, because I am not a person that will not blame us too. We are also an instrument. We are also some of the things that we're liable for is also caused by us. You understand? So that's why I'm saying we need to start asking ourselves the right questions. I think I was talking to Mike the other day and I asked a very simple question. If Mike or Dolo, whoever I was talking to, was a police officer, the two of them are police officers actually in Toronto today, based on all the crime and the gun rates in Toronto today, and they pull up a car, a 4x4 car with nice rims, with 4 black guys in it, would they be nervous approaching the vehicle versus pulling up the same kind of car with 4 Chinese guys or 4 Asian guys in it? Are they coming with the same nervousness? And if we have to face the fact, no, they're not, because they don't know what those 4 black guys might have, because the biggest part of the gun problem we have in the city is within our community. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So we need to start asking ourselves the right questions. You understand?
Yeah.
And until then, we will start now dealing with racism.
So I think you probably hit one of the questions that I wanted to ask about forging ahead as Africans or melanated people, I would say. Now, maybe we should center in on your business in Toronto, basically, right? What were some of the lessons learned, we can say, from that business venture?
Which of them? The restaurant business?
The restaurant business, yes.
I mean, just another, to be quite honest, it was just another business that was not, the system was not sustaining. We gave it a good run. We had our faults. I definitely know we had our faults, but the market was just not sustaining us. Maybe the rent was probably one of our killer. Maybe the location also could be maybe to a disadvantage. I've really looked at many factors. I'm not even sure whether that's what we did at that time. The market was ready for it also. Maybe we didn't have enough population within the downtown demographic to sustain, to help the business, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It's a cash. For me personally, I could have sat it out if my daughters were still interested, but they were no more interested, so there's really no point. So, and that's the bottom line.
Okay. Now,
for a restaurant to survive, you need that 3-year cycle, anyways, for you to survive. So
yeah.
We didn't wait it out. I think we pulled the plug out after 18 months.
Now, I guess back to the conversation with you, what you mentioned about building a community as melanated African people or Black people, or however you want to term it. How do you think it's best that we go about it? Now, you mentioned that we should ask ourselves the right questions. What are some of these questions we should be asking? How do you think we should go about building a self-sustaining community in this race? We have the Chinese people have their own community, the Greek people have their own community, the Portuguese people have their own community. What do you think, and in your experience, and I know you have a lot to add in this area, for this question, what do you think is the pinnacle? What should we be considering right now in building this community?
It's first is knowledge. I think we don't understand each other. That's the first thing first. So we need to start doing more. I think we need to start doing more community activities that involves us. Africans need to start understanding the Guyanese, for instance. We need to first understand that there's a difference between a Guyanese and a Jamaican. It's as simple as that. Taking the patience to understand our differences, understanding our where we are. So once you understand our differences, then we can work together. You'll not be annoyed. You understand? Because you know that's the way they are. It's like an Igbo man come visit you in your house growing up. You understand? As a Yoruba boy, you prostrate when you see your parents' dad, right? But as an Igbo boy, when he comes into your house, once he puts his hand forward, my dad will shake him. And when he goes, the first thing will ask you, Omo Igbo ni abi? Yes, he's an Igbo boy. They don't take offense, you understand? Because they know that's the way they are raised, that's their culture. You understand? So, and that was one of the reasons why they can cohabit together. So we need to first of understand, because I think when I was traveling all over Africa, that was one of the things I realized, that we don't know each other. And there's a myth against each other. There is. There's a lot of tribal boundaries. We are a very tribal people. So they call it tribalism, but tribalism is equal to racism too. It's the same. So we have that going on within ourselves. You understand? And that is not making us understand each other. So first we need to stop that in diaspora. Once we can stop that, and it's not going to be miraculous. I'm not going to expect that we're going to wake up one day and suddenly all Blacks will be one. But let's at least let all Nigerians start working together, and then collectively and consciously starting to reach out to the Ghanaians, and then consciously the West Africans starting to reach out to the East Africans. Then, it has to be a gradual thing. It's not because there's a lot of culture to cover. You understand? But we need to understand each other. You cannot walk while we all enjoying Canada. We've all take the patience to understand Canada, to learn the laws of Canada.
Absolutely.
And that's why we can benefit from Canada. So if you don't understand where I'm coming from, how do you understand how to relate with me? That's one thing. I think we need to preach more of the culture at home. We need to give, like, all this Black Lives Matter thing. One of the things I've been fighting my own kids at home, or not fighting, but I just trying to make them understand, is the same thing I'm discussing with you, so that we're not just sowing the seed of hatred against a race that's actually welcomed us into their community. You understand? And because they don't understand us, we think that, yes, I cannot say racism doesn't exist. It does exist. No doubt, it's very clear. I'm experiencing it on a daily basis. You understand? But we should not think sowing the seed on the kids that, racism, is there against them is the solution. No, it's not. It's not. Solution is to be able to right now start addressing those issues that are not making us one, the issues that are not making us unite, the issues that are not giving us that strength. Because what is happening to the blacks they don't have a chair on the table. That's what's happening. We still don't have a chair on the table. Whatever chair you see us sitting on is just been given to us. We've not gone to say we've gone to claim. No, we don't have where. You understand what I'm saying? At least in Canada. Yes. So that's what I think. We need to start building economic power. We need to start coming together. I hope that this Black Lives thing, or this recent revolutionary activities will wake up that consciousness. That's all we can wait for. That consciousness will be woken. Now, when it is woken, how is it sustained? I'm hoping that consciousness will drive Black entrepreneurs to do all the same things that is making the Blacks don't trust each other. Put quality in picture. Make sure you deliver a good service. Make sure your service can compare, can be as par. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So those are the things that we need to start. We need to start worrying about. I've had many conversations with many of my friends in all of these issues, and my question is always very simple to them. You want to get a plumber right now. Would you call an African plumber? Or you put an ad and 4 people respond. What would be your choice? You look plumbing, I'll go for Eastern European. Why? It's a perception thing. They're not the best plumbers out there.
No, they're not.
But when you think handyman, you think Eastern European. You understand? When you think law or accounts, you think Jewish. When you think accounts or mortgage or finance, you think Indian or Asian. So why is it only when you think guns, you think Africa or you think Black? You understand? So we need to change the narratives. You understand?
I totally agree. Changing the perspective
is important. Yes. Now, I'm talking as a Black man right now. I'm not talking as a white guy. This is my perception of another Black guy I'm giving out right here. And that's the same thing the Black guy is going to see on the road. That's what he's thinking about me. When I go bid for a job, you understand? The guy don't know how professional I'm going to be. And the first thing is he doesn't know what he's coming to do. That's the first perception. And I don't blame him. Because my predecessors that has come didn't have a clue. And they keep coming back with no knowledge. They will come, they will teach them today. Next time they come, they've not upgraded. They've come with worse knowledge than the last time, because now they learned, they saw you do 1 or 2 things, so they think they now know it. Because they saw you do it. When they come with even more aggression of ignorance. You understand? So that is the challenge we are all facing.
Absolutely. And I can draw some parallels. I think you've just said some really vital things. And I can also draw some parallels between, well, I would say still, between what you said and Burna Boy's acceptance when he won the lead. He mentioned for the Black Lives Matter, Africa has to matter. And I just want to ask your thoughts about it, because it could be very well misconstrued about by a lot of people. But I can just said and what he said. But what
Well, I honestly don't understand what he's trying to communicate, because I didn't hear the interview, so I don't know the context in which.
No, it was an acceptance speech. It was basically a statement that he made accepting the award.
Now, for Black Lives Matter, for Black Lives to matter, Africa must matter. To who?
I guess that's the real question.
To who? So, honestly, that is a very, very statement I cannot comment on. For me, all life matters. All life must matter. We should, the same way the whole world has responded to what happened to George Floyd, is the same way they should have responded to what's happening to the people that are being killed in different parts of Africa too, by Africans. You understand? So it cannot matter when it's interracial killing. Killing is killing. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So all lives must matter. In between this Black Lives Matter, another black man was killing this Nigerian girl, raped and killed the Nigerian girl. In between this same Black Lives Matter. You understand? So for me, I don't want to comment really much on Black Lives Matter. I know all life matters. You know, once we start seeing all life matters, then Black life will matter for sure, because all life matters. You know, so I'm an advocate of all life matter, not really, I'm not leaning towards just only Black life matter. No, I'm all life matter advocate.
Okay, which is very understandable. I guess maybe we should. I'll switch things to a lighter note, and for everyone joining us right now, welcome. This is 654. Interviewing Mr. Makambi. We're talking about several issues, including his life and his thoughts about the Black community. Maybe let's segue over to your work in entertainment space. Now, for many of the concerts or the biggest artists' performances and tours that have happened in Canada, for those who don't know, Mr. Lukman Akambi has been very instrumental to that happening, and he's very instrumental to the African entertainment scene in Toronto, even in Canada. What is your how do I put it? What is your driver, basically, when it comes to the scene? Right? How do you maneuver being? I know this is your immediate work right now, being in entertainment. But how have you been able to combine working in entertainment with all the other businesses you have?
I've always loved entertainment, and for me, it's entertainment. For me, has been my release. When I came back to Canada, 2016, one of the first things I did was actually to volunteer with the biggest festival there, which is Afro-Fest, to render my experience to them and bringing my expertise and knowledge to them, because something I enjoy doing first and foremost. Then I started partnering with, I analyzed what people were doing locally here, and trying to advise on how they can, improve in their product offering. And that's all, like I said, that's all I've always been about, is always about us being able to meet the international standard, because we are able to, you understand? And I find us spending the same amount of money, but not getting the same results just because we don't have the knowledge. You understand? So that is what I've been trying to input in every every space I have been in entertainment. From Hong Kong, when I started as a professional musician, to when I started doing entertainment as a promoter. I didn't go into the space to come and do shows. No, I went into the space to present. I didn't start promoting Africa. I started with my first African event was Two-Face Idibia. It was actually the one that convinced me to start doing the African thing. I didn't have time because I was more an EDM guy. I started more with the EDM guys. So I started with the likes of Basement Jaxx, Tiesto, Groove Armada, and Swedish House Mafia. Those were the guys I was doing then, and then a bit of hip hop. A bit of hip hop like I did the 50 Cent, a bit of that. I was not touching the Afro-beat scene until Two-Face. When I did Two-Face, okay, these guys are not bad, and these are my people. Okay, so Afrobeat is growing. So we started investing in Afrobeat, but I only went full force into it just because I wanted to present it properly. And I know the only way we can do it is by doing it ourselves, and that's how I decided I was going to dump everything and focus on Afrobeat, and the rest is story. So when I came into Toronto.
Apologies, sir. I'm just going to have to pause you right there. Live is counting right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop the live and come back in and then continue our discussion.
Okay.
And I implore everybody in the audience to come back with me. I'll be back within the next few seconds and have to stop because of the countdown.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you right back.